Summer blockbuster season is upon us. There are 86 new movies out this summer, but today we are here to talk only about comic book movies.
Yes. Marvel kicked things off Thursday night with the release of The Avengers: Age of Ultron. Managing editor and critic for the movie website ScreenCrush.com, Matt Singer sat through 27 hours of Marvel movie madness yesterday and did not invite me. It all culminated with the premiere of the new Avengers movie. So, how is Age of Ultron? Is it as awesome as the trailers have shown?
It's pretty great. If you are a comic book fan, I'm sensing a lot of excitement. You will enjoy it. I feel like obviously these are huge movies for a mainstream audience, but they really cater to that hardcore comic book fan as well with this one. If you like the first one, the way I compare it is like the first one was the Bruce Banner, and the Avengers 2 is the Hulk. Everything about it is bigger. Bigger cast, more stars, bigger budget. Everything about it is Hulk-sized. It is crazy. There is new
Captain America throws he's riding his motorcycle.
Yes.
And then he
picks it up and throws it.
That is.
And there's a scene where Thor hits his shield and it makes a big thing. I'm sorry.
Man.
It's fantastic, though.
I'm hanging on your every word.
Yes, I can tell. But yeah, yes, it is a lot of fun. I think it delivers everything it promises and then some, for sure.
So you watched 11 Marvel movies in a row.
Correct.
These movies, these types of movies are just taking over Hollywood. Is this partly because there's so many more moviegoers in emerging markets and around the world, these movies really tend to translate and Hollywood cares so much about foreign box office sales?
That's absolutely right. I mean, these movies do very well everywhere. They're a worldwide phenomenon. The first Avengers made something like $1.5 billion worldwide. So any chance you have to make another $1.5 billion, you do it. So.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And of course, it's a built-in audience, right? There's nerds like us that will go see these movies and see them over and over and buy them on DVD when they come out, and But I wonder, this is sort of an interesting thing to me. I'm also a big DC Comics fan. There are a lot of people who have always grown up as Marvel fans and others that are DC Comics. So for those who are not familiar, DC Comics would be Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman is coming out soon, right? But a lot of people have said, if not for Batman, DC has struggled to make, or Warner Brothers has struggled to make movies that compete with the level of the Marvel films. Why is that, do you think?
That's a great question. They have struggled because Marvel is now huge, right? I watched 11 movies yesterday that they've made in the last 7 years, I think. And DC has made a couple of attempts. Batman has obviously been very successful for them, but when they've tried to replicate that formula, it hasn't worked. That's their plan now, is they haven't really figured out how to do the Marvel way, which is to really have a couple of people at the top who are in charge of all these different characters, right? And they're going to do Iron Man and Captain America and Thor and have them all meet in the Avengers. That's their plan, is to merge into these big multiple franchises. DC is now going to try that, right? They're going to have Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman.
The
Justice League. And you have to say it like that.
Which I'm totally dying to see. It's going to be awesome. But it's also interesting to me that Marvel has taken a page out of the Christopher Nolan Batman series, because the new Fantastic Four, I didn't like really the old version, that they had that was okay, but this one looks dark and not at all like Fantastic Four-y. And also they're doing Ant-Man, which is one of those lesser, they're not as a character that's not as popular as, for example, the Avengers. Gigi's sort of like just looking back and forth at us, like, I hope these guys ever go out with their girls, But so what's up with like the angsty Fantastic Four and a lesser-known character like Ant-Man?
Well, Fantastic Four, it is a Marvel property, but that's being produced by Fox outside of Marvel. And you're right, they are going for a darker... I don't know if more realistic is the right term, because there's still people who turn into rocks, and there's a guy who catches on fire. And to my knowledge, that's not really realistic, but they are seeming to go for a grittier, darker tone. That movie is directed by Josh Trank, the guy who did this movie Chronicle a few years ago, which was a very cool little kind of spin, a found footage movie spin on superheroes, sort of the Blair Witch Project meets like Captain America or something like that.
Cool.
So he's putting a sort of a different kind of spin on it, and I think in that case they're trying to do something different, right? Because Marvel has the bright, colorful superhero movie on they've almost got a monopoly on it at this point. And I think what Fox is trying to do with Fantastic Four is do something just a little bit different and hope that they can kind of fill a different niche.
So it's expected to be a big summer for blockbusters. What are we looking forward to?
Well, there are, what did you say, 86?
Yeah, what are we most
Batman
excited
Superman comes
about?
out next year.
I
You're
know,
going to have to be patient.
I know.
Calm down.
Doesn't that look awesome? Doesn't that look the trailers look even better than the Marvel, than Age of Ultron?
I'm guessing you're a DC fan. Is that right? You're
I
more
just
of a
love
DC
Batman
fan?
and Superman. Everybody is like childhood dreams. You know, I think it's funny we were talking about, and I know David is screaming at me to wrap this segment, but you know,
This is important. He has to talk about Batman.
This is important. We, you know, if you grow up liking the DC fans, I'm a little older, so those characters, those heroes, always seemed very superhero-y, right? Where the Marvel characters were angsty. You know, Peter Parker was sort of a nerd, and people related to that. The X-Men were outcasts. People related to that. Whereas, you know, when you're Superman, like
life is good.
Life is good.
You are super.
You are Superman. You know, and you're Batman. You're rich. And you fight crime at night.
And the big appeal of Batman and
knew
Superman is
so
those
much thought
characters
went
are
into all
coming
of
together.
He's
He's got it all figured out. He's not pretending.
Spent a lot of time pondering it, clearly.
You only knew, Gigi.
All right, we have so much to look forward to. Thank you for breaking it down for us.
Thanks so much.
My pleasure.